It was a normal Saturday afternoon at my local grocery store. Packed aisles, screaming toddlers, and people acting like the apocalypse was coming because the store was out of their favorite chips. I had only 5 items, some milk, bread, eggs, and a frozen pizza. I got in the express checkout line, the one that clearly says, 15 items or less. I was 2 people away from the register when she appeared.
Enter, Karen.
She was in her late 40s, rocking the signature look, oversized sunglasses indoors, a messy bun that somehow screamed superiority, and a full cart that could have stocked a small restaurant. She came barreling down the aisle like she owned the place, ignoring the clearly marked lines, and stopped right next to me. Then, with a dramatic sigh, she nudged her cart right in front of mine. At first, I thought it was a mistake. "Excuse me," I said politely. "The line starts back there." Karen didn't even look at me. "I just have a few things," she said, glancing at her overflowing cart, which included at least 10 packs of soda, a mountain of frozen dinners, and enough toilet paper to build a small fort. Ma'am, that's not a few," I replied, trying not to laugh. She gave me the look, that death stare only the truly entitled have mastered.
"I'm in a hurry," she snapped. "You can wait."
"You only have a few items." Now, everyone in line turned to look. The guy behind me raised his eyebrows like, "Oh boy, here we go." I took a deep breath and said, "This is the express line, 15 items or less. You have, 60? She rolled her eyes. "Rules are for people who have time to waste. I'm picking up groceries for my family." The cashier, a young woman who looked about 19, called out, "Ma'am, this line is for express checkout only. The regular lanes are open."
Karen huffed.
"You can just ring me up real quick.
I'm paying cash."
At that point, the cashier looked nervous. She didn't want to start a scene, but Karen clearly wasn't moving. So I smiled and said, "Sure, go ahead."
She smirked, thought she won.
But what she didn't know was that I had time to burn. As soon as she started unloading her items, one by one, onto the tiny express counter, I pulled out my phone and quietly started recording. Nothing aggressive, just a simple video showing the express lane sign and her cart piled high with groceries. The guy behind me started chuckling. "Ma'am," he said loud enough for others to hear, "you do realize you're about to be famous, right?"
Karen froze.
"What are you talking about?" I turned my phone slightly so she could see the screen. "Just documenting the moment you decided you're more important than everyone else." Her face turned red. "You can't record me. That's illegal." I replied, "Actually, it's not. We're in a public place. But if you want, I can show this to the manager instead." The cashier, now hiding a grin, said, "I can call the manager for you, ma'am, if you'd like." Karen stammered, I don't have time for this." From the next lane over, an older gentleman, probably in his 70s, called out, "Sweetheart, if you'd waited in the right line, you'd be done by now." That broke the tension. The whole line started laughing. Even the cashier giggled. Karen's face went beet red. She glared at me, then at the crowd, then slowly started shoving her items back into the cart. "You people are so rude," she yelled. I just smiled. "Have a nice day, ma'am." As she stormed off toward the regular checkout, pushing her cart like it personally offended her, the guy behind me said, "That was beautiful." I thought she was gonna explode. The cashier whispered, "Thank you. She does this every week."
"Oh," I said.
"You mean she's a regular line cutter?"
The cashier nodded.
"She complains every time we tell her no. Last week she threw a bag of chips at one of my coworkers." "Well," I said, "maybe now she'll think twice before cutting the line again." The cashier finished ringing me up. As I walked away, I noticed Karen still arguing with the manager at the other checkout. She was pointing toward me, waving her hands, and saying something about being harassed. The manager looked at my direction, then back at her, and said something that made Karen freeze. She slowly turned her cart around and walked out the automatic doors, leaving all her groceries behind.